Yeah, my motherfucking light is not cutting on. Probably gotta change a bulb in that joint. I just swapped my doggone cords and everything, but everything's still and just still not popping on. Like this shit, real deal, just set me off on the slick. But I'm using good old fashioned sunlight, so that's good enough. But yeah, back to this. Back to this. Damn, y'all ever just had everything set up and then boom, some random shit just go out of place? Yeah, bro. Let me just.
From eating raw cherries to contaminated water at the White House to getting
Contaminated
assassinated
water.
in broad daylight. This is how every US president died and their final words. And spoiler, while some left an epic message, others talked about soup. But first, let's start at the beginning with George Washington, our first president, who got a serious throat infection after riding his horse in cold, snowy weather.
Oh yeah, by the way, chat. I do not. I'm gonna tell you now. I cannot remember all the presidents by heart, so do not expect me to do not expect me to know all these folks. George Washington probably the only one, other than Abraham Lincoln and probably the other ones that they made us learn about back in school. I don't remember half of them folks. I don't remember half of them folks like for real. Wrong count. I don't remember half of them folks.
He likely had epiglottitis, which is when that little flappy thing at the base of your tongue becomes inflamed. Today, that's an easy fix with antibiotics. But back
Hell
then,
yeah.
doctors
Hey,
tried
them
bloodletting,
antibiotics
which
was
is when they
y'all.
cut your arm and drain blood from your body. They thought it would somehow help, but it ended up making things way worse.
Duh.
And it's believed Washington lost 80 ounces of blood. That's like 6 Red Bulls. He told his doctor, "I die hard, but I'm not afraid to go." And as he struggled to breathe, his final words were, "'Tis well." But if you thought that was dramatic, this is the most insane coincidence in U.S. history,
They drained
where
them, man.
John
Them
Adams
folks
and
just
Thomas
doing stuff back
Jefferson,
in the
the
day,
second
Chad.
and third presidents, died on the exact same day. They started out as friends and revolutionary bros. Jefferson wrote the Declaration of Independence, and Adams helped defend it. Squad goals. But in the election of 1800, the two became political rivals. Then, after a decade of not speaking, Adams and Jefferson reconnected as pen pals and became besties again. However, on July 4th, 1826, exactly 50 years after signing the Declaration of Independence, the spookiest thing happened. Jefferson grew ill from diarrhea, pneumonia, and a kidney infection. And on the night before his death, he asked, "Is it the
Diarrhea, pneumonia, and a kidney infection? What the fuck? I know this. Hell nah. I know Eden was. Man, I know Eden was just a challenge for his ass. What the fuck? Hell nah.
When they told him not yet, he held on for one more day. And his final words were, "No, doctor, nothing more."
You know,
What if I told you?
I know what that means. He said nothing more. They was taking that man temperature way too much. Way too much. No thank you. Got my own camera.
Hundreds of miles away in Massachusetts, John Adams was a sickly 90-year-old man dealing with
90 years old. What the fuck? I almost said something, but damn. 90? Shit.
fear. Completely unaware that his bestie Jefferson died hours earlier, Adams said his famous last words, "Thomas Jefferson survives." It's kind of
Hating that nigga, bro.
crazy that these two, who spent their whole lives being frenemies, ended up checking out on America's birthday. Kinda like our fourth president, James Madison, who almost completed the 4th of July trifecta. Because after dealing with congestive heart failure, the father of the US Constitution was on his deathbed, and doctors were trying desperately to keep him alive
Why
until
is all
July
these
4th.
presidents
But when
dying
offered
and
more
going out
stimulants by his
mad?
niece, Madison said, nothing more than
Why the fuck is why does her tatas look like half of a doggone peach? Yeah, animation is ridiculous, but I love the video. It's funny.
change of mind, my dear. I always talk better lying down. Which basically meant he was ready to go and died on June 28th, 1836. I mean, come on. He was so close to making it to the 4th. But you know who did make it? The 5th president, James Monroe, who became the 3rd one to die on Independence Day. He had heart troubles which worsened after contracting tuberculosis. But his final words were about how he missed his old friend James Madison. I regret that I should leave this world without again beholding him. And while most presidents die on their deathbeds, some die on the floor of Congress. Like the 6th president, John Quincy Adams, who after serving as president didn't retire to play golf, but instead went back.
Nah, but I did say, hold on. We're not just gonna mosey over that like I didn't say that. I did say, yeah, we gonna find out what I know some of this shit gonna lead. Most of it gonna lead to some where either bacteria infection or some type of disease. But like heart failures and all that shit, bro, all that shit come from like pork. That doggone bacon, ham, all that shit. Them ribs and shit, hot dogs, smoked sausage, all that shit. All that shit can lead up to that. And I'm telling you this, chat. Do not keep indulging in that foolishness with that pork. I mean, I used to throw down on some doggone rib tips on me. But now, when you hell nah. See what they feeling now. For a lot of the older folks, what they feeling now, we starting to feel it. If you 25 and going into 30, you're starting to feel this shit. Niggas just not saying nothing because it ain't an issue. But wait until it become an issue. Then that's when you gotta tell. If you ain't already aunties and uncles, you gotta tell your nieces and nephews. Hell nah, nigga. Don't be jumping on me, bruh. I'm fragile. I'm fragile. I'm telling you. But yeah, that's where that shit come from. And it lead to lung cancer and heart failure because all that shit clog your shit up and all them parasites. That's why I don't eat this shit.
Congress as a representative. And while casting a no vote, he suffered a massive stroke, grabbing his desk and collapsing on the house.
See, that's what he get for being petty, y'all. That's exactly what he get for being petty, chat. That's exactly what you get. You want to be so obnoxious.
Floor. And after they carried him out, John Quincy Adams said, "This is the last of Earth. I am content." But some presidents have more peaceful endings, like Andrew Jackson, who is one of the most insane presidents in American history. He was a tough dude who fought in duels, survived the first ever presidential assassination attempt, and beat up his would-be killer with a cane. But despite all this, he didn't go down the way you might think. He got tuberculosis, had heart problems, and suffered from dropsy, which is when your body fills with too much water. Hydrate or dihydrate, am I right? And on his deathbed, surrounded by family, this tough guy turned into a softie, with his last words being, "Oh, do not cry, be good children, and we shall..."
Pause. So you mean tell me this man drunk too much water, ended up dying? He had too much water in his body. What the hell? I told y'all we were gonna see some shit in this one. I ain't gonna lie. I told y'all. But hell nah. Really just like that, you drink one bottle more than what you're supposed to drink, one capful more than what you're supposed to drink. And it's GG's. Okay. Bet. Quiet, quietly. Oh man. The hell you? Hold on, bro. I didn't even what's the name. Repeat that, bro. Repeat that. My bad, y'all.
Then there's Martin Van Buren, our eighth long 79 years. Our next president holds the record for the shortest presidency because of this one dumb mistake. During his inauguration, William Henry Harrison gave an insanely long 2-hour speech in the freezing cold rain without even wearing a coat.
What the fuck is going? Why is it so important for y'all to get in front of people and just start talking after y'all done either goddamn after y'all either done earned something or just getting recognized and praised at all. Like, man, you sitting up there wasting folks out. I ain't gonna say it. I ain't even gonna say shit. See, you got them folks out there for 2 hours in the cold rain. Have y'all been in cold rain, chat? Let me know if y'all been in cold rain, man. Cold rain is way different. I'm telling you, cold rain is not it. So if the man had y'all out there in cold rain for 2 hours, and then depending on what time of day it was, if it was in the morning, oh, I swear, I would have walked in my doggone hood on his ass. I ain't gonna cap. I would have walked in my hood on his ass because you got me fucked up, my boy. Ain't no damn way I'm finna sit here and watch. Man, funny as hell, my boy. Now hold on, my main camera's a little bit bigger than what it's supposed to be. Let me just, yeah, I'll do it. That'll do it. But hell nah, chat. You got me fucked up. 2 hours outside in the cold. Oh no. I'm getting uncomfortable just thinking about this shit.
And for over a century, we thought he caught pneumonia and died. However, recent studies suggest this probably wasn't the cause, because he didn't get sick until 3 weeks after the inauguration. Experts now believe he either died from typhoid fever or septic shock due to contaminated drinking water at the White House.
I wouldn't be drinking nothing. I wouldn't be drinking shit from these folks. If I had that type of status, I wouldn't be taking nothing from nobody in the first damn place. I ain't even gonna lie, because what the hell is your problem? And like, bruh, contaminated water is one thing, but you also gotta think about it wasn't no fucking cameras, and people was really taking shit to the grave back then. So when I say people could slip something in your drink and Pete and Bill Cosby your ass, and you wouldn't even know it till it's too late. No folks say you died natural causes. People who do them blood tests and everything, they ain't the same neither. It wasn't the same then. They'll cut open the body and look at the blood and base the they decision on the color. I think, I don't know. That's something my cousin told me, but it just depends on the situation and how these folks died. But yeah, now they can slice you open and run DNA and all that shit. I'm trying to put my damn controller on this charger. Okay. But yeah, now they can do all that. But back then, hell no. Nah. So if you drunk some shit that you ain't had no business drinking and somebody done slipped it in your drink, you fucked. That's what that is. So, hell nah. That's why I don't go to clubs.
That's insanely unlucky, because Harrison only lasted 31 days in office, which means his vice president, John Tyler, got a promotion. But this president didn't have the best record with the people. He was the only president whose death wasn't...
What I tell y'all, What I tell y'all? Didn't I just tell y'all they didn't like this nigga? So I wonder how he went. I hope he talk about how this nigga went out. I hope he talk about how this nigga went out because y'all saw the trash that. Hold on. They said you garbage, my boy.
In office, which means his vice president, John Tyler, got a promotion. But this president didn't have the best record with the people. He was the only president who's...
I'm telling you, bro. Y'all, I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. Just imagine how, man, just imagine how he went. He probably not even be on the list, but still. You got, man, hell nah. I've been terrified to live back then because folks could have did anything, yo.
wasn't officially mourned by the country because during the Civil War, John Tyler sided with the South. He was even elected to the Confederate Congress. But before he should start the job, he started having dizzy spells and died of a stroke, with his last words being, "Perhaps it is best." Agreed, John. Then there was James Polk, who died far too young at 53 years old. And it's because 3 days after leaving office...
Whoa. That went over my head. Go back. What?
Who died far too young at 53 years old. And it's because 3 months after leaving office, he was on a tour of the South where he contracted cholera. A nasty...
This is why people fear public bathrooms, man. I'm telling you, man. God damn, man. That's nasty. I'm so glad we done came further than what the hell we had going on, because this shit right here is uncalled for.
That gives you explosive diarrhea. But despite the circumstances, he went out as a romantic, with his last words to his wife being, "I love you, Sarah. For all eternity, I love you." I'm not crying. You're crying. But for this next president, you might be laughing, because Zachary Taylor died from eating too many cherries and drinking too much milk. Or did he? During a 4th of July celebration in the sweltering heat of DC, Zachary Taylor desperately needed to cool off.
Fuck no. If he was drinking milk and eating cherries, what the fuck? And you in a scorching heat, you cry with you, man. I don't even got no words for this shit right now. In the heat, it's the cherries and milk for me. Cherries and milk doesn't even sound. It don't sound. It will not sound delightful. What the fuck?
So he ran into the White House, ate a bowl of raw cherries, and drank several glasses of milk. The problem was, food safety was basically non-existent back then.
Oh my
and
gosh.
Taylor came down with gastroenteritis and died 3 days later.
What
However,
the-
many believe Zach...
Whoa, so you can really hold on. You ain't supposed to mix dairy with citrus fucking fruit or any fruit. So for you to be, man, listen, that is disgusting. You ain't not supposed to be mixing the dairy products with any type of fruit or vegetable. Only Fruity Pebbles and Frosted Flakes, nigga. And Reese's Puff. That's the only thing milk goes with. And when you stir up your macaroni and cheese, other than that, you ain't got no business drinking it by itself, which is completely nasty. And then eating a whole thing of cherries behind it. Man, I can't deal. I don't dig at all.
Taylor was poisoned because he was the current president when this went down, and pre-Civil War tensions were rising. But when forensic scientists looked at his body in the 90s, they found nothing fishy. So it really was just some bad cherries. And before he died, Taylor said, "I'm about to die. I expect the summons soon. I've tried to discharge my duties faithfully. I regret nothing." And after death by cherries, VP Millard Fillmore stepped up to the plate.
I wouldn't even be wanting to step up to this doggone plate, y'all, because real talk, if I see these folks dropping like flies, I wouldn't even want to be next in line. because some way somehow these ignorant ass bastards is dropping. They dying from unnatural causes, which is food poisoning, man, lack of allergenic motherfucking tests at the doctor. It's just random shit that we tap into every day on an everyday basis now. But yeah, the same stuff that we tap into now and keep up with now when it comes to health, these folks was dying because wasn't nothing even found out about that shit yet, and them folks was dying. These folks was dying. So it's like, no sir. Thank God I was born in the 21st century. Yeah. Or was it 20? I'm not even finna jump down that rabbit hole. I gotta switch it back. I'm always forgetting to switch it back. It's cool. I'm gonna learn.
His presidency until he had a stroke. But right before he died, someone gave him soup. And Fillmore said, the nourishment is palatable. Which basically means in fancy talk, it tastes good. 5 stars for the soup.
This is hands down one of the most powerful AI platforms for digital marketing, SimilarWeb. And honestly, if you...
But our next president had one of the saddest deaths ever. Just weeks before taking office, Franklin Pierce's son was killed in a horrific train accident. And this sent Pierce on a downward spiral of depression. He started drinking too much, became an alcoholic, and...
Alcohol poisoning, how much I want to bet, because I'm telling you. Man, how much I want to bet it's alcohol poison. Chat, if it's alcohol poison, I swear. I'm play it.
Destroyed his liver with a disease called cirrhosis. He died after losing re-election, and nobody wrote down his last words because he was all alone. Dang, that's sad. And unfortunately, the downward spiral of America continued with the next president, James Buchanan, who many view as one of the worst presidents because the Civil War was coming and he did nothing to stop it.
That man was in there collecting a check on y'all ass. Man did not give a fuck about us. When shit coulda, look at him. Man is just clueless. Oh man, those folks said he did absolutely nothing. That doesn't bother me, but that is so interesting.
Buchanan died of a bad respiratory infection, although some believe he fell victim to...
Somebody probably farted in his face. Bro, that shit crazy.
Mysterious national hotel disease outbreak, but that's just rumors. He went out proclaiming, "O Lord God Almighty, as God wilt." But you know what they say, weak men create hard times, and hard times create strong men. Which leads us to this tall drink of water with a top hat, Abraham Lincoln, one of the greatest presidents in American history. Although the Confederate South might disagree, because while watching a play at Ford's Theater, Abraham Lincoln was shot in the head by John Wilkes Booth. And unfortunately...
I cannot count how many times I done seen an Abraham Lincoln meme and the fucking spoon nigga pop up on Instagram. These niggas these niggas just don't understand a lot about Mr. Abraham, but like, goddamn, my nigga, what the fuck? Give it a rest, like. But I ain't gonna lie. Up till I really just clicked on this video just to see my boy Abe, because what the fuck, bruh?